Hey, what's up? It's Marlon, Food Fidelity. Today I'm making one of my favorites, grilled lamb. But instead of Mediterranean flavored, I'm going with a Cuban inspired dish, making it a Cuban Mojo, tangy, citrus, and garlicky flavor to complement the lamb. I got my butterflied lamb here, ready to go. And I'm gonna start by first working on my marinade, which begins with some simple, fresh lime juice and heavy on the garlic. I got about 5 to 6 garlic cloves that I'm gonna mash up into a paste with some salt. You can also just put all of these ingredients in a blender and puree them until they're all mixed up. I'm using fresh garlic and fresh oregano, but you can also use dried oregano in this dish as well, or both, depending on how much oregano flavor you want here. Once I got my paste made, I'm gonna put it in a bowl and then start adding in some of my other ingredients, including the lime juice, as well as some orange juice. In Cuba, they use a lot of times sour oranges, which is a common, which have the flavor of orange and lime, which is I'm trying to mimic here, along with some of the other ingredients. Once I have my marinade mix made, I'm going to take that butterflied lamb, put it in a large Ziploc bag, and then add the marinade. You can marinate this for about 4 hours, preferably overnight. Just make sure you don't have too much acidity in the marinade, because that lime citrus will basically start to kind of break down the meat if it sits too long and if it's too much, and the meat will become mushy and kind of give that texture up a little bit. So you want to be mindful of that as you marinate, right? So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it sit overnight. Once I bring it out, before I put it on the grill, I'm going to allow it to come to room temperature because I want it even cooked. And by even, I mean that there are no cool spots within the lamb after I've cooked it. You might want to pat it dry a little bit to get some of that liquid marinade off, because the flames are going to come up, and there's sugar obviously in the lime and the orange juice, and it'll burn a little quicker than you may want to. Lay your lamb on the grill grace as flat as possible. This is going to be direct heat cooking, high heat with the lid closed, so you want to be mindful of that. I'm going to grill mine, anywhere between 6 and 10 minutes. Cooking time is going to depend on the temperature you're cooking at, as well as the thickness of the lamb. Again, I try to lay mine as flat as possible, being mindful of those thicker spots within the lamb. So you might have to watch it a little bit because, again, you're cooking over direct flame, so you don't want to burn your lamb. So it's okay to take a peek, here and there, to just make sure that you're being a little cautious there. Overall, cooking time is not that long, and so you don't have to worry so much about losing temperature. Again, we're not smoking it, we're grilling it, so you're okay there. And that's really it. That's the simplicity of this dish. It's really big on flavor, but really low on cooking effort and cooking time. So once you got it to where you want it, if you have a meat thermometer, you can read the temperature. Internal temperature that you're striving for is about 130 to 135, because you're targeting, for me anyway, that kind of medium rare. If you wanted to cook if you want a more well done piece, then you want it to cook a little longer, or maybe raise the temperature up a little bit. But I want mine nice and juicy with a nice crust on the outside. That's what I'm going for. So I got mine off the grill. You want to rest a little bit to let the juices on the inside redistribute. So I'm going to cover mine with a little bit of foil, and while it does that, I'm going to work with the reserved marinade and just reduce it in a saucepan to a tangy, rich, tasty, delicious sauce that I'm going to use on the back end when I serve this up, right? So you can see that this is, decently rare, medium rare, which is what I was going for, and that's really it. I got the texture I want. I got the internal temperature I want. I got the flavor that I want. So it's really about, okay, what am I gonna serve this with? I'm gonna keep within that Cuban theme, serve these up with some black beans and some rice. If you have some plantains, you can fry them up and make tostones, whatever, but just think about the typical sides that you would have if you were grilling on a nice Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon, whenever your day is. So I got my sauce all thick and ready to go. It's got a lot of flavor there, so I'm just gonna add that back, and I'm good to go. So if you like the dish and you make it, leave a comment, hit that red subscribe button most importantly, and get updates, new recipes each week as I post new content. Thank you for vibing with me. Peace out. See you next week. Peace.